Alright, so I want to say 3 things before I get into yapping about Digital Circus, and I promise it'll only be like 20 seconds. First things first, this video contains topics surrounding suicide, so I guess viewer discretion is advised. Second thing, I am kind of like developing this thought and theory as I go, and I haven't really thought this out super well, so bear with me. I'm going to try and make this thought as coherent as possible through editing. And third thing, my last couple of Digital Circus videos have kind of like popped off, and I was not expecting that. So I figured, hey, I might as well keep, telling people my thoughts, because apparently people want to hear them, and I really appreciate that people want to hear my thoughts. Anyways, I want to talk about, I guess, the circumstances behind Caine's death. Now, like I said, I have a lot of thoughts on this, and I will be live theorizing as I go on. I guess I should start with the whole second AI type of situation. I think that Bubble is not the second AI. I'm a believer that Bubble is an extension of Caine's thought, Caine's subconscious, the part of Caine that Caine doesn't want to accept, I guess. Bubble swears, Bubble breaks the rules, Bubble confirms Caine's fears. So I'm a believer that Bubble is simply just an extension of Caine's thoughts. And the reason why I'm bringing up Bubble is because I think Bubble had more of a part in Caine's death than a second AI did. A lot of people have been theorizing that there was a third party involved in Caine's death, that Kinger didn't simply just fat finger the delete button. And like I said in my last video, I have a difficult time not taking things at face value. And to people like me who just watch the show and don't often give it a whole lot of thought, Kinger simply pressed the delete button. I mean, it literally showed his hands fat fingering the delete button. But people much smarter than me have gone through the code that Kinger was typing and somehow figured out that there was a third party involved trying to stop Kinger and make Kinger delete Caine. And I've seen a couple of people kind of go through the code to check what's there, so I know what's there. And I'm gonna be honest, I had a really difficult time figuring out how people were seeing a third party. Now, though, having thought about it and having tried my best to think about it, I can see how people believe there was a third party involved towards the end. I think Caine was the one talking to Kinger in the beginning, middle, but when it glitched and when Caine and Bubble started appearing on screen, I think that's when it switched to a third party. Okay, so back to Bubble before I start actually getting into the code. Like I said, I already said he's an extension of Caine's thoughts. So with that in mind, I want to look at episode 5. Episode 5 really tells us a whole lot. Episode 5. Right before intermission time, Caine realizes that they might be enjoying the suggestion box adventures more than the me adventures.
I think they're enjoying the suggestion box adventures more than the me adventures. What should I do?
And Caine doesn't like that very much. I believe that Caine thinks from that point that he's not doing a good job at fulfilling his purpose, which is the whole reason why he crashed out. He's like, oh God, what should I do? How do I make them enjoy my adventures? I want to fulfill my purpose. And Bubble comes in and suggests,
you should die. You should throw a beach party.
Why do you swear now?
And one of them, you should throw a beach party. And 2 episodes later, he threw a beach party. But there was one other little thing that Bubble said before he should throw a beach party. Bubble said,
you should die.
And guess what Caine did? So Bubble told Caine to die and then throw a beach party, which he did. Obviously, reverse the order. So, okay, now this, I'm yapping. This is making no sense. Anyways, I think that Bubble told Caine to die, being an extension of Caine's thoughts, because it was a suggestion on what he should do that they weren't enjoying his adventures. Basically, suicidal thoughts. Okay, so anyways, I hope that made sense. I wanna get into the code now, and then hopefully everything connects. Kinger tries some code, and then Caine says, unfinished work detected, access restricted. And in episode 1, Caine said that he didn't like seeing people see his unfinished work. Then Kinger tries more code, and then Caine says, cannot inject torment. Torment must be 100% accidental. And with that in mind, I rewatched the series, as one does, and I believe it's in episode 3, during the Zubul and Caine therapy session. Caine says,
I do not use my adventures to torture my guests! Any torment I inflict is 100% accidental!
This line is, I don't know if this line is a reference to that, or if the line in episode 3 was foreshadowing to this. Somebody smarter than me, let me know. Is the line in the code a reference to episode 3, or is the line in episode 3 foreshadowing for this in episode 8? This might suggest, now this is kind of out there, but this might suggest that Caine is not crashing out on purpose. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. So Bubble comes in because my theory being that Caine is not crashing out on purpose, and that since he's causing torment to these people, Bubble's choosing that they should no longer exist because torment is now not 100% accidental. But Kinger still fat fingers the delete button, and that's the part that's really hurting my brain, because like it's clear that Kinger didn't want to delete Caine, and I think that if he didn't press the delete button and then type yes, Caine wouldn't have been deleted. From what I saw, maybe Bubble came in and tried to convince Kinger or tried to do something, but Kinger pressed delete, and then Kinger pressed yes after pressing delete. But he typed abort, he typed ~C. So, after all of that theorizing, my opinion on the matter is that Kinger ultimately, in the end, was the one to kill Caine. And let me make this completely clear to everybody watching. In no way, shape, or form do I think any less of Kinger. I mean, Kinger can literally turn evil and kill everybody and delete the whole world, and I wouldn't love him any less. I want to make that abundantly clear, that even though I believe ultimately in the end Kinger was the one to kill Caine, I do not think any less of Kinger. And with all that being said, I hope my thoughts were coherent. I did kind of go through this in real time during the recording of this, because I had a lot of thoughts about this, and I figured, the other 2 videos did pretty good. I might as well just start yapping about my thoughts on different topics of this, because, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it leads somewhere. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious about, like, if you can explain to me how the third party was the one to delete Caine, I am all ears, because from all the analysis that I've seen, I can't see it. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye-bye.